Alright, welcome to this gameplay today. I am jumping into a mobile horde survival experience called Snek Survivor. It is a fast-paced arcade-style game where I control my Snek and try to make it through wave after wave of enemies. As I am playing, everything you will see is happening in real time, and the whole point is simple: stay alive, rack up points, and climb those leaderboard scores. Snek Survivor is not just another mobile game, it brings together survival chaos with nostalgic arcade energy. If you ever enjoyed games that challenge your reflexes and force you to make upgrade decisions on the fly, this is that feeling again, only now with a crypto twist. It is actually built inside the Pixel Cap Games universe, which also includes more mini experiences like a classic Snake game, something that reminds me of early phone gaming days. I love that mix modern survival wave mayhem, but also something familiar and simple. What I find interesting, even before pressing start, is that this game exists as part of a broader idea. It is free to play, anyone can just jump in, but there is a deeper layer waiting for people who want to go beyond the surface. I will get to that later. For now, my mission is one thing: survive. 25 waves stand between starting the run and claiming victory. But realistically, the real battle is just trying your best to last long enough to feel the pressure. The upgrades start coming fast. Enemies start piling, and suddenly one wrong move and the run is over. The part I enjoy the most is how approachable it is. I do not need a wallet, no blockchain account, no long onboarding. I can boot it in a browser, on an emulator, or just download the app from Android. It means anyone watching this can try it, and that level of accessibility is surprisingly rare in Web3 themed games. So as I navigate this world, the goal is to survive, to avoid getting boxed in, to decide whether to escape or push forward, and to watch upgrades stack, building my Snek into something powerful. It is chaotic, funny, and strangely satisfying. Watching waves crash toward me, biting enemies, and seeing that score tick upward is where the excitement really begins. I am going to show you exactly how it plays, how it feels to push wave after wave, and what happens when everything starts ramping up. So get ready, because once I hit start, it is just me, my Snek, and a swarm trying to end my run. As I keep playing, I want to explain what this whole project is aiming for. Because Snek Survivor is not just a quick mobile game someone threw online, it feels like part of a bigger vision. I can sense that the goal here is to let anyone jump in and have fun, whether they know anything about crypto or not. The main purpose behind this experience is to offer that nostalgic arcade feeling mixed with progression and survival mechanics. It is made for people like me who enjoy pushing themselves, grinding for better scores, and feeling that slow wave by wave climb. But at the same time, it also serves a completely different audience. There are players out there who care about digital collectibles, community rewards, and long-term utility across multiple games. This game sits right between those worlds. What I think stands out is that I do not need to understand blockchain to begin. I can start and play, but if someday I want to go further, there is a path waiting. Pixel Cap Games, the world that Snek Survivor lives in, seems designed to be more than just a single title. I can picture it as an expanding arcade universe where different games, tournaments, and community experiences are connected, all while still being free to play. Their long-term aim feels like letting players choose who they want to be. If someone only wants gameplay, they are welcome. If someone wants ownership, rewards, or early access to new titles, that is also possible. That flexibility matters in Web3, because most blockchain-based games lock rewards behind investments. Here it is optional. It is an invitation, not a barrier. From my perspective, the objective is to create a bridge, letting more people casually step into gaming that has optional digital ownership without forcing them up front. That makes survival runs like this the entry point. It becomes a way to onboard players without ever mentioning onboarding. As I control my Snek, fighting through waves and trying not to lose, I can feel that bigger idea beneath it. A universe built piece by piece, game by game, giving room to everyone: casual players, collectors, or people who simply want to experience something entertaining on their phone. And that vision, slow, steady, accessible, is what gives this gameplay another layer beneath the chaos happening on screen. Now that I am deep into the gameplay, let me walk you through the features that give this game its personality. As you can see, everything starts simple. I am just a small Snek in an open space, trying not to get overwhelmed. But as each wave hits, new enemies arrive and my upgrades start unlocking. The intensity rises. The main mechanic is survival. 25 waves stand between me and the final outcome, and every time I make a mistake, the counter resets. There is a thrill in knowing one wrong move can end it all. The entire score system is tied to biting enemies and staying alive. Every enemy I take down gives me points, and from those points I keep climbing the board. This creates that arcade feeling we all know: score chasing, bragging rights, and the satisfaction of seeing numbers rise. As I continue, I start receiving upgrades. Some are passive, slowly shaping my Snek into something stronger over time. Others are more active, giving me new ways to fight, escape, or dominate a crowd. The real fun is when those upgrades stack and suddenly instead of running for my life, I become the threat. But Snek Survivor goes beyond just this mode. There is another minigame tucked into the experience, a classic Snake-style challenge. It brings back memories of early phones where the entire game was moving a growing line across a tiny screen. Here it is simple, clean, and feels like a bonus reward after surviving chaos. There is also something different inside the menu, a live Snek token price tracker. While I am playing or browsing, I can see the price of the token directly. It is a subtle, almost hidden connection to the larger crypto culture behind the Pixel Cab world. It does not interrupt the gameplay, but it adds context, letting me know that this entire arcade universe has ties to something bigger. Outside the game itself, there is another layer: Arcadian collectibles. These digital characters have been designed like retro pixel icons, perfectly sized to fit Discord and X profile pictures. Owning one of these is like owning a VIP pass. It gives access to prize pools, special Discord areas, raffles, and even passive ADA rewards if the collectible is not listed for sale. There is also early access to future game builds and even options around product incubation using a collectible you own. That mix, survival gameplay, nostalgia, digital collectibles, community layers, and optional rewards, is what makes this game more than a single idea. It is a stack of experiences, and I get to choose how deep I want to go. As I continue playing, I want to talk about how Cardano actually fits into everything happening around this game, because even though the gameplay itself is happening here on screen, the deeper layer is happening outside in the collectibles and the wider Pixel Cab universe. The first and clearest connection is the Arcadians. These digital collectibles are fully on-chain, inscribed directly on the Cardano blockchain. What that means for me as a player is that ownership is not just a graphic on a website. It is something recorded permanently with proof that a specific collectible belongs to a specific holder. That on-chain nature makes the collectible liquid. I can transfer it, list it, or remove it from listing, and doing that even affects the rewards I qualify for. If my Arcadian is not listed for sale, I automatically enter holder-only raffles and I gain passive ADA rewards. There is also a gating system tied to Cardano ownership. If I hold one of these collectibles, I unlock exclusive content inside the Discord server. Things like news analysis and educational material. This is not a token gate through gameplay, it is a community access form that uses blockchain ownership as the key. Nobody needs to trust a username, the collectible itself proves entry. On top of that, being a holder puts me into the Pixelcade leaderboard prize pool, which is tied to monthly rewards. It also gives me access to early development builds of games that Pixelcab is working on. The document also highlights something unique: IP rights and product incubation using an Arcadian, meaning that if I hold one, I can use it beyond gameplay, possibly as a character or asset in a future product. Nothing beyond that is described, but it shows that Cardano ownership here is tied to real functional privileges, not only visuals. What is important is that none of this is inside the moment-to-moment survival match. I am playing Snek. Survivor itself does not record gameplay actions on chain. It does not ask me to connect a wallet to bite an enemy. The blockchain layer sits above, offering expansion choices but never forcing them. Cardano becomes relevant here because of how the Arcadians are implemented, fully inscribed directly on chain, not hosted somewhere else, and because those collectibles become the system that controls access prizes, airdrops, and cross-game continuity. It shows how a single blockchain asset can influence an entire arcade-style ecosystem. So while my Snek is fighting, dodging, leveling, and trying not to fall apart under the next wave, I know that somewhere behind the screen a blockchain is enabling ownership, community, and continuity, and that is where Cardano sits quietly powering the layers. Most people may not notice unless they choose to. As I move through these waves, I keep thinking about why this game matters, not just for players like me, but also for the Cardano community, and for people who might be completely new to all of this. For everyday players, the value is immediate. I tap, I move, I bite, and I survive. There are no barriers, no wallets, no sign-ups. It feels like a normal mobile game, something I could hand to someone who has never heard the word blockchain and they would still have fun. That simplicity is powerful because it shows that digital ownership and crypto-themed culture can exist around a game without overwhelming it. For Arcadian holders, the impact goes deeper. Their collectibles give them access to things no one else has. Monthly leaderboard rewards, exclusive Discord spaces, raffles, passive ADA if their digital item is not listed, and even early access to unreleased games. It means that ownership is not just sentimental. It has consistent mechanical measurable value, and that is something many projects struggle to deliver. For the Cardano ecosystem, this project brings something different: cultural onboarding. It offers a lighthearted, low-pressure way for someone to play, enjoy, and then slowly discover, oh, there is more behind this. A person could laugh at the chaos of the survival mode, switch to the classic Snake minigame, glance at the Snek token price tracker, and eventually get curious. Maybe they learn what Cardano is not through research but by playing. That matters because the industry often tries to pull users in through speculation or hype. Here the entry point is fun first. A survival run, a leaderboard, climb a retro minigame, and only then maybe someone chooses to explore blockchain elements. Even from my perspective, as someone inside the game right now, Snek Survivor shows what free-to-play can become. It respects time, it welcomes everyone, and it quietly proves that optional blockchain layers can be built around experiences instead of inside them. If this continues, if more titles join it, and if more players step in, it could slowly strengthen a community, not because it demanded it, but because it earned it. Right now, as I am playing, I want to talk about where this game stands today and what we actually know about what is coming next, because it helps put everything into context. At this moment, Snek Survivor is already live and playable. I can open it in my browser directly by going to the PixelCap Games site and launching it without installing anything. Or if I want a more mobile native feel, I can download the app from the Android store. There is also the option to grab the APK and use an emulator. In my case, I used Mumu so I could test it on desktop. All of that tells me this game is not in a pre-alpha stage. It is already functioning. It is accessible and anyone watching this can try it. What I noticed though is that this game is part of something larger. PixelCap Games as a whole seems to be building a multi-title arcade universe. We know that Arcadian holders get early access to development builds for future games, which means there is more in development, but none of those future titles are named, dated or described. So I cannot tell you exactly what is coming next or when, because that information is not publicly specified. All we can say based on what is already live is that Snek Survivor exists right now with its survival mode, its classic snake minigame, and its Snek token tracker. Meanwhile, the collectible system, the leaderboard prize pools, the ADA raffles, and the gated Discord access are also active, meaning the ecosystem around the game is not theoretical, it is already turned on. There is no stated timeline for expansion, no white paper section with dates, no announced launch window for more games. The only forward-looking clue is that holders of the Arcadians will get access to early development builds, which implies more titles will arrive, but I cannot predict when or what they will look like, because nothing else has been confirmed. So as I fight through these waves, trying to keep my Snek alive, the clearest status is this: the gameplay is live, the broader arcade world is forming, and the roadmap remains open, waiting to be revealed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and before I go, don't forget, if you'd like to receive a very short but value-packed email from me every Tuesday, you can sign up for the Cardano Gaming newsletter. Every Monday I'll be sharing the latest from the Cardano Gaming ecosystem to help you make better decisions. So if you don't want to miss out, just go to the link on the screen, leave me your email, and very soon I'll be in your inbox. That's all for today. I hope you have a great week.